Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, and welcome to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Carry for Animals, number 465 shows and counting today. And we're doing this show a little earlier because the guest Spencer Hodges from the UK will be joining us. And so the different time frame, I made it earlier for him because it also would be around midnight if I did it on my regular time. But I wanted to make it comfortable for him. But I just want to go over a couple things, and we will get started. Everyone, welcome aboard to Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Carry for Animals, number 465 shows and counting. And we'll keep going. And my name is Debbie Dahmer, a.k.a. Mama Bear. And Mama Bear does care because she is on the air. And I just want to give you some updates on what's going on here. On Blog Talk Radio, they will be closing up on January 31st of 2025. It's sad news, but I got to deal with it. And we will keep going, okay? So my last show for 20 would be January the 30th on Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific. And I will keep everyone informed on the new podcast I will be going on. And the good news is we have this Voices Carry for Animals. I have it, all the shows, archive shows saved on podserve.fm. So that's the good news, and it's going out to 9 other podcast platforms. One is Apple Podcasts. They're currently on there, and once after this show gets downloaded, it will be on there to listen to. Follow me on there. Number 2 is Spotify Podcast. There's another big one. And 3 is podparadise.fm podcast. This is such good news. We're coming in stronger for Voices Care for Animals, everyone. So that is the good news. Pandora Podcast. Number 6 is Pocket Cast Podcast. 7 is Castro Podcast, 8 is Podbay Podcast, and 9 is Podchaser Podcast. So please follow me on there, and you can find them on podserve.fm, and that's Voices Carry for Animals. and you will see it in all the archive shows on there. So that is the great news that Voices Care for Animals is now on 9 other platforms. So we're going to keep going and run these shows till Blog Talk till January 3rd of 2025. So please keep, staying with us, staying strong, positive, optimistic, and proactive. And we'll make it through this because it looking better here. And just trying to find a podcast that can take in callers because I'll miss that. I've been on Voices Care for Animals for over 10 and a half years, okay? It was 163 shows on TS Radio, Marty Oakley, and she sadly passed away on April 1st of 2023. And I had him on there from June of 2014 on TS Radio Network up to March of 2018. And she helped me get together Animal Advocates Radio, Voices Care for Animals. I kept the name and just keep going. But may she rest in peace, and she was a super team player, a super friend, and her voice got out there. And you can follow her. Her shows are still going on with 3 different hosts on TS Radio Network if you'd like to listen to them, helping the elderly out, guardianship abuse. So, when we all cross over and multitask, and hey, we are people, power, and numbers. So that's where we'd like to see the changes come in. And this show is coming live from my website, www.voicescareforanimals.com, everyone. You can subscribe free, and please spread the word. The more subscribers on there, the faster the changes and getting the word out under one roof. And you could also share the post or the promos from the bottom of the post to all the social media networks. So please check it out, and please subscribe to there. And also there, I have Voices Care for Animals on Facebook page, okay? So please follow on there. And also Voices Care for Animal support group, and a lot of animals on death rows going through their promos. Also petitions, latest news on different, crimes of people that's committing against the animals. It's a sad situation, but please spread the word out there. I'm waiting for my guest Spencer to come on air, and this is his 5th year of coming on Voices Care for Animals, and he's always welcome back. He's working out there hard, everyone. He's got the rebounddog.com, and he's from the UK, founder and host, the global platform for pet advocates to collaborate, the social impact network for pet advocacy and therapy professionals. And our topic will be this evening about the collaboration and impact conversations shaping a better world. And I know he was having a meeting today, so he's probably running a little bit late. But we'll, keep the shows going because I'm not going to shut it down if he is running late. So I was on here and I was looking. So I wanted to mention also on X, which is former Twitter, I have my Voices Care for Animals on there also, and also my personal page. You can follow me on Facebook under Debbie Dahmer, DebbieDahmer. You can follow me. I'm at my friend's limit, but sooner or later I get you in there. I'm trying to, expand as far as I can to get out there, and also on LinkedIn. If you like to look me up on there, just have the personal page, but I do advocacy on there also. Okay, so everyone, we gotta, keep going because that's where, the changes come in. And I give you everyone a number. It's a nationwide number, okay? And it's to connect with your state representatives and senators. and that area code is area code 202-224-3121, and they'll ask for your zip code. And during business hours, ask to speak to your state representative or senator, and then whatever, if it's asking to be a co-sponsor, or, ask them to, get involved. You could be a creator of a law, or author, and get one in there. Just work with them closely and keep in contact and keep updates, because the new laws for 2025 is going to be coming out soon. So in that way, there's going to be more laws, because if we don't have new laws coming in, how else are we going to enforce the abusers and the predators and everything? So we have to get stronger, everyone, in the upcoming year, and do our part, because that's what it takes. All these lives are archived, so if you want to go back and listen anytime you can. It's 365 days a year, 7 days a week, so that's the good thing. But we'll miss Blog Talk Radio after January 31st. Been on there a long time, and but I will make it through and stay strong and keep going, because I don't want to shut down Voices Care for Animals podcast. There's no way. Been going too long. And everyone remember, these people power in numbers. Contact your representatives and senators and out there and help out as much as you can. Okay, so I want to just go over one more thing here, because it's so important. I'm still waiting for Spencer to come in. He should be coming in at any time. Anyway, on my Facebook page, I have a list of bills in federal legislation, everyone, and please visit that. It's pinned at the top, because there's a lot of bills in here that's so important for all the animals. H.R. 5041, Better Care for Animals Act of 2023. Currently, there's 29 co-sponsors. Yeah, here's number 2, H.R. 3656, Wild Horse and Burro Protection Act. Currently, there's 26 co-sponsors. Number 3, H.R. 3090, Prevent All Soaring Tactics Act of 2023, or the Past Act of 2023. 51 co-sponsors. Number 4, H.R. 1624, the Puppy Protection Act of 2023. We're going to, keep these in mind, because we want to see them all packed. And that one has a great amount of co-sponsors. There's 231 of them. H.R. 2742, Fighting Inhumane Gambling and High-Risk Trafficking Act, or the FIGHT Act. We got 128 co-sponsors on that one. On the Senate side, we have 17 co-sponsors. Number 6, H.R. 1465, Violence Law. Currently 95 co-sponsors. That's high up there. Number 7, H.R. 4241. We have good numbers, 77 co-sponsors. Here's a big one right here. Is H.R. 3475, the SAFE Act of 2023. We have currently 227 co-sponsors. On the Senate side, we have 11 co-sponsors. H.R. 208, Pet Safety and Protection Act of 2023. And currently we have 31 co-sponsors. Number 10, H.R. 1788, Goldie's Act. We got currently 112 co-sponsors. H.R. number 11, H.R. 726, Veterans for Mustangs Act. 31 current co-sponsors. And number 12, H.R. 6023, Eli Act of 2023. And that's 7 co-sponsors. So you see a lot of them do have a lot of co-sponsors, and some could have a lot more. You can always go to congress.gov and create an account, and you can get alerts in your email when this bill, any bill that you support has updates on co-sponsors or movement of the bills. And please spread the word. That is also on my website, voicescarryforanimals.com. So please, everyone, let's do our part and, get these animal rights granted, not violated. And that's the main thing. So we have to, stand together, and the more of us, the better and stronger we become. And that is, from every angle. So anyway, I will, still waiting for, I think he's running a little bit late. But if there's anybody who wants to call in right now, you're more than welcome to. It's the same number every Thursday, 310-982-4270. Press 1 in the queue, and I will bring you on live. If you have any comments or questions or want to bring something up, you're more than welcome to. So, everyone, just try to be patient. I'm just waiting for the guests to come in. And also, if you want to, within the new year coming up, and you want to be a guest on my show, or somebody would love to be a guest on my show, please email me at voicescarryforanimals@AOL.com. And this is going for 2025, because after next week, December 5th, will be my last podcast for the year, okay? Going to celebrate Christmas and New Year's and get ready for 2025, and that is the main thing. But and hoping all of you continue your ongoing awesome support out there. A big shout out to all of you that's helped me promote this show, from Facebook followers and friends that's involved, and my groups that I got and pages that's involved. This list is huge, and I can't do it without you. I can't do it alone. On Twitter, fans of animal rights on Facebook. They are been supportive for many, many years and helped me promote the show. Thank you so much. And on X, the Big Animal pages and the followers on there. Also on LinkedIn. So everyone, just remember, it takes teamwork all the way to see the victories. And that way we can all do the victory dance. And but anyway, I want to, there's a Debra Hamilton. She's calling in. And anyway, I'm going to bring her on air when she pops up, too, because she was a former guest. And from all about Why Do Pets Matter? And she interviewed me, was last year, championing animal welfare, and it was with Debbie Dahmer, and it was a great interview, and I can't thank her enough. She has a YouTube channel on All About Animals Radio, or Debra Hamilton. But if anybody wants to call in right now, I'll take calls until he pops up, because I haven't heard from him. I'm trying to get a hold of him to hook up. But 310-982-4270. And press 1, you'll be in the queue, and I'll bring you on board. Just, try to not have any noises in the background, TVs, radios, conversations, and you're more welcome to go on board. And I wanted to bring up next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I want everybody to have a wonderful Thanksgiving and peaceful and just enjoy. But anyway, my next week's show is going to be next Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern, everyone. And Cheryl Becker, director at the Western Massachusetts Rights Advocates, is going to join us. And so is Glenna Waterman from the Massachusetts for Elephants. So we got another elephant show coming up, which is wonderful, because stand up for all animals in need and distress. But remember that next Wednesday will be the live show. Thursday I'm closed. So please spread the word out there. And one show after that will be the December 5th. So we're heading, saying goodbye to 2024. Everyone, and I give you that number, and out. This is going to be the same number to call in or listen in up till January 30th of 2025 is 310-982-4270. Press 1, you'll be in the queue. And then just please be patient, and I'll bring you in, okay? So jot that number down, because next year I'm not sure where I'll be on the new podcast, but I will keep everyone informed. I will announce on every show I do till then if I have any updates or better news. But please, follow me and on Facebook, the Voices Carry for Animals on Facebook, the group Voices Carry for Animals Support Group, my website, and please keep spreading the word, because we are strength in numbers, everyone, and that's what it counts, okay? So, Debra Hamilton, if you're out there and you want to call in, please do 310-982-4270. Okay, so I will be waiting for Spencer to come in. And Harold, if you're out there, do you want to speak? Another great, I call her my Facebook friend, and she's wonderful. She's out there helping the animals too. Harold, are you there? You're live and on the air.
Yes, I'm here. I was wondering if I pressed 1 3 times, and I was just wondering if I was on the air or not. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah, you're live on there right now.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for all your support.
And thank you so much, though. And hopefully the new platform you're going to be on, that we could chime in and call as
That's
guests.
what I'm trying to find out. Because I can't find none. And at Blog Talk, they're not even selling Blog Talk. They've been going on since 2006. And I can't believe there's something wrong with this picture, where at least have somebody else take it over or sell it or something, because their platform is really great. There's the ones I've seen, there's none out there like it. Where the callers call in, there's the queue. The promos are awesome. It will be missed. Yep. So
after
hopefully
19
I
years.
find one. I'll keep you informed, though.
Yes.
I got plenty of time to find one, so at least I know I got all the shows saved. That's a plus. And on top of that, it's going out to 9 more podcast, platforms, all the archive ones. Isn't that great?
Yeah. Well,
9
hopefully all
of
these years that you've been, since a decade, you've been helping the animals and humans alike, though, hopefully you'll be able to find a platform that allows people to chime in and call and speak against the voiceless. And
I just have to, really look into it, and hopefully I find one, because the one I haven't had no luck lately. I just found out several days ago about this happening, and podserve.fm has been helping me out a lot, because Marty had TS Radio Network set up on her radio platform, and then she helped me get mine. So I'm new at the setting up podcast platform, but I'm sure I can learn everything. I'm not going to back down. Can't be a sissy about it. I got to be strong. Yep. I have to be a hard cookie to crumble. But I want to really thank you for all your support that you've given and calling in and being a part of the Voices Carry for Animals family. That means a lot. And I got to, because it takes teamwork all the way. I do my best, but I can't do it alone. That's the thing. And when I have, people help them, my friends and Facebook friends and followers all help me, that encourages me to keep going. I know I'm not spinning my wheels, right?
Yes.
No way.
And since I have to do the research on the bills, though, every bill you mentioned, though, it's just to read them, though, I'm getting lots of caffeine to study and read them.
Yeah. And everyone, because I got 7 more here. There's a total of 19 of them, federal bills. That's in legislation, everyone. And it's going towards the end of the year, so we need some more support, please. And when you call up your state representative or senator, just give them your name, your constituent, from whatever state you're from, and just say, yes, I want to ask the state representative if he or she would support and co-sponsor bill number, whatever the bill number is, for the upcoming, session that's coming up. So, and that way we'll get farther. It's only a couple minutes asking your state representative, give a description of the bill if you want to go on Congress. I don't know if you're hooked up with Congress.gov, but I know I am, and I get alerted every time if there's a new co-sponsor or if there's movement in the bill, if there's any changes in it. But it is awesome, and I could give that to you too, Harold, when I get a chance, so you can check it out. But I wanted to read just one moment here. I'm still looking for, I don't know what happened to Spencer. But anyway, I want to go over these other 7 bills. That's also on my website, everyone. And that's H.R. 7958. And that's the Preventing Animal Abuse and Waste Act. And that's 11 co-sponsors. When you call up your representative or senator, give a brief description of it. And that should be on Congress.gov or on my website. Number 2 is H.R. 5009, Wild Act. That's 12 co-sponsors. Senate side, S2395 is 1 co-sponsor. H.R. 3518, Bear Protection Act of 2023. 8 co-sponsors. I know I'm saying 2023, but this has been going on since then, and we can, they can still vote on them in the following session. Number 4, H.R. 7840, the Prohibiting Threatened and Endangered Creature Trophies Act of 2024. There's currently 16 co-sponsors. I got to go back and update this list to see how many more has picked up. I will probably do that within the next week. Number 5, H.R. 3859, Animal Welfare Enforcement Improvement Act, 34 co-sponsors. So we do have, several co-sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
You see, number 6, H.R. 4995, Kangaroo Protection Act of 2023, 17 co-sponsors. And the last one, 7, H.R. 1024, Hearts Act of 2022, 24 co-sponsors. So everyone, please contact them. Hold on one second. Okay. Hello. Thanks for calling Animal Advocates Radio. You're live and on the air. Who is this? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's Debra Hamilton.
Hello?
It's the 914 number.
Yes. How are you doing, Deborah?
I'm doing well. How are you? Is Spencer on yet, or he was delayed?
No, he hasn't shown up yet. I'm looking for him.
Oh, no. Well, he is a wonderful guest. I know. He's a wonderful guest.
I'll put an APP out on him. Yep. But
his Rebound program is wonderful. His Rebound program is wonderful and helps bring people in the industry together to work together in a collaborative way to help animals, just like you did.
Yes, and he's doing a great job at it. He's a positive impact, And I noticed on the he still has it on there in the newsletter under podcast. He has yours on there and mine and Billy Groom. Isn't that wonderful? That's teamwork.
I know. That is teamwork, and
yes.
We really do help each other when we're changing things that we're doing or expanding things we're doing. We all work together, and that's what really will help bring in people to understand the importance of animal welfare and the different points of view that we can all work together and find the best way forward for the animals.
Yes, And I wanted to really thank you for interviewing me. Was it last year? It was a great interview, and I feel so honored to be on your, interview show podcast, and it's on YouTube. Everyone, as I believe it's called Championing with Animal Welfare with Debbie Dahmer. And everyone, check out YouTube. She's on there. Subscribe. Why do pets matter?
It's why do pets matter? Right, and we talk about that one question for every one of my guests, because they all are in service to animals. And so I ask them why pets matter to them, because it is very important for what we do that top of mind is what makes it important for you to work in the animal industry.
Yes, and I've even had you on several times, and looking forward to having you on in 2025 once I get a new podcast.
Absolutely. We're going to do that reciprocity thing. You'll be back on Why Do Pets Matter, because it really is important for everyone to work together, to spread the word, to really create information. I was on for a minute before, and then I had a client issue. You were talking about different legislation, and legislation is wonderful. However, the implementation of legislation is always the bugaboo. Everybody makes a law, and then it has to be implemented, and it really is more about education and collaboration on implementation that works so much better if you do it in a way that brings everybody into the discussion, as opposed to just, getting a decision or writing a law and then having to figure out how to have the people who are responsible for enforcing it, enforce it, understand it, and enforce it.
Yes, it's so important, because that's how we enforce is new laws coming in. And when we all come together, hey, make that call or a letter, even a letter asking your state representative to co-sponsor, or your senator, because that's the way there's a movement. That's why I said it was mentioning all. There's 19 federal bills in laws, Ryan, was introduced in legislation. So there's a lot of them, Deborah, that have a lot of co-sponsors, and there's some that need more.
Right.
And I would love to see them all pass.
I would love to see them all pass with a collaborative effort that makes people want to abide by them, not that they have to abide by them, because there's a whole different mindset if you're forced to do something versus if you can see your way clear to understanding why and joining the crew that wants to help make animals better and live a better life. So it's always great to have all these legislations, but there's always two sides to every story, and we have to listen to them so that when and if they're passed, that they can be implemented without a lot of strife and angst and hiding of animals and things like that. It's always great if everybody's on board with legislation, but I don't think there's any legislation that's ever passed that everyone was on board for. And then the implementation is always tricky.
And Deborah, I just heard from Spencer. He's running seriously late, and he's sorry, but he wants to get rescheduled. So if you want to stay on there, you can. It's no problem. I could just change the promo to you. You got me? And
yeah,
your
that's fine.
Information. Yes.
That's fine. I have to get off in 25 minutes because I have a call at 4, but I'm happy to chat with you and fill the void. I don't know that I can because Spencer is so wonderful and unique, but I can try.
Okay, you got it, because it'll go till 4 o'clock and everything. So, and I can change it, reschedule him, and then we'll be back right on track again. Okay?
Perfect.
But thank you for popping up. This is wonderful, because I've had to, not a lot, but I've on several occasions where, something happened and a former guest was on, in the queue, and they came on and helped me. Isn't that wonderful? That way they have to shut it down. So,
no, and it's important that we get this information out. Yep.
That's right. We have to do our best. And get
I'm always ready to help you, Deb. You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you. I'm doing my best, and you're doing a great job, too. I can see that. And, like now, and with 2025 coming up, I'm going to have you on, and I'm so glad you're filling in right now. But keep up that great work you're doing, because pets really do matter. They do. And all animals' lives matter, humans. And together we can make a huge difference in their lives. We got to at least try, right?
We're finding out every day how important animals are in our lives, how they create a sense of peace and calm. I think I'm writing an article for my blog about, I don't know if you know Mary Beth Decker, but she's an intuitive for animals, and she said that often she's brought in to work collaboratively with veterinarians to really intuitively speak with the pets. And some of you might think that's woo-woo, and I understand. But if you're in tune with your pets, you do know when something's wrong. And someone who practices this as a living can actually possibly, I think probably, put words to what you're seeing and be able to help you and your veterinarian treat your pet. In the article, it shows where they were thinking something was neurologically wrong with the dog, and it actually just needed a pacemaker. And when it got the pacemaker, it lived its life beautifully. Now, that wasn't something that the doctor had considered, and it wasn't a fault of the doctors. It just wasn't something that popped into his mind. And so they looked at it, and the pet was lived a happy and healthy life going forward. So, we are finding out so much about how our animals interact with us, how we interact with them, how they make our lives better. Deb, you and I have talked about that at nauseum. Our lives would be so empty without our pets, and they would they would be empty without us. So it is a give and take. It isn't always just them giving to us, although they do more so, I think, than we give to them. But I think they're happy with their lot in life, so to speak.
That's right. They're so important. They're our loved ones. Once they walk through that door, they're our furry loved one or loved ones, and it's not difficult to take care of them. They just, care for them and, spend time with them, make sure you feed them and water and walk them to vet and everything, because they deserve it. We got 2 cats and a dog here, so I know, and they're all happy. 2 of them was adopted, and 1 was, living on the streets. So Liberty was living on the streets, and I know she's happy. She's under a year old. A friend of mine had her. And her daughter was allergic to cats, and she asked me if I could help, get her home on social media, and so I went to go meet her and everything, and Mary says, do you know somebody would want to, bring her in as a loved one? I said, yes. And she says, who? I said, me. So, and then when I adopted Victory, he was so happy coming in, and he don't have no bottom teeth. There's 2 of them, and I said that does not matter. It does matter. And he's a happy cat. He's a happy camper too. And Sugar Bear was adopted, and she's happy. So you want to make them happy as much as when I see them happy, it makes me happy. I know that I'm doing a good job and caring for them, because they deserve it. All animals out there do, Deb. They deserve it from every angle. And they're so important to us. And when we lose them, it's losing a furry loved one, the same as a loved one. So we have to out
really
there and be a voice. Be their I told Sugar Bear, I'm Mama Bear. So, I said, these pets mean so much. And that's not the only ones I think of. I think about all the ones out there in need and distress. And we wish they all would have tender, loving, caring homes. And that's, we're on the air. We go out there and we do our part. And you're a great host and everything. And the audience out there, check her out. And, Deb, could you give your website and how they can get a hold of you? And that'd be wonderful.
I'd be happy to. So they can listen to my podcast on any of the podcast platforms. Why Do Pets Matter? and they can go to the website, HamiltonLaw&Meditation.com. That's the website. And we do all sorts of consulting and conflict resolution, which you might think is sort of maybe divorce or things or arguing neighbors, which it is. But we also help people make a plan for their pets long term, because most trust and estate attorneys will only be making a plan for your pet if you die. However, there are 9 other ways that you could be incapacitated and not be able to take care of your pets, and you need to plan for that as well. I'm in the middle of, that was the client I had call me, I'm in the middle of an unfortunate, unexpected death, and the husband of the woman who owned the dogs, he co-owned them as well, but he gave them to someone who she never wanted them to have. And so now he's trying to undo what he did. And yet, had she left a written document saying what to do if, God forbid, something happened to her, that wouldn't have happened. But she only left it in her will, and he didn't have a copy of her will, and so he didn't know her directives. So we work on, it's called the MAP call, and it's a MAP community that meets once a month. And we talk about what you need to do. You can clearly do with your pets if something were to happen to you, short or long term.
And that stuff is so very important. You know, help them from going back into a shelter or something. They just have everything prepared, just like a will, and so your loved ones know what to do instead of going through, you know, what do I do now, which way, and everything is going to be written down. And a death of a loved one is very hard to go through. It's never easy, and even with the furry loved ones. So because that's so important, Deborah. I mean, everything that you're saying, you know, things that sometimes we don't think about or doesn't go past us. So whatever out there, you know, do your part and make life easier. Less stress, right, Deb? It'll help you out.
Well, it really relieves the stress because, you know, I actually fell letting the dogs out 2 weeks ago and fractured my femur, which is uncomfortable but isn't too bad, but I have to keep weight off my leg. And I have 2 big dogs that I walk 5 miles a day. I can't do that now. So I had to, you know, trigger my MAP plan to have people come to help me take care of my dogs. So that's something that I'm not dead yet. However, I can't do what I do every day with my dogs, and they're very mad at me, and they're telling me that all the time. I'm not, you know, incapacitated that I'm unconscious, so I was able to make calls and have people come. However, if I had been, it would have been important for my husband, my sons, to know what were the arrangements I made to care for the dogs, because unfortunately, if it's a loved one who's in the hospital, you're going to want to be with them, and if you have someone lined up who's not a family member, then your family members can be with you. So it's, you know, everyone thinks, well, you know, my husband, my sons will take care of my dogs if something were to happen to me. And I know, Debbie, you know this, and many of your listeners may as well. A lot of the dogs that are in a shelter who are older are the result of someone who went into a nursing home, couldn't take the dog, or passed away expectedly or unexpectedly, and the family couldn't take the dog. I mean, you cannot really rely on a family to take a dog or a cat any longer because there are allergies, there are animal restrictions. You can only have 1 dog, and this would bring them to 2 dogs, whatever it is. It could be a completely legitimate reason why they can't take their mother or father's pet, and then the pet goes in the shelter and wants to know what the heck happened. So making a plan and finding, you know, the next soft landing for your pet is one of the most important things you can do besides, as you said, Deb, feeding it wonderful food and giving it fresh, clean water.
Yes. And another thing, Deborah, they with all of what you're doing, it's so impressive and so uplifting and inspiring. And you're a true inspiration to humans and animals. I mean, can't thank you enough. And everyone, I don't have the number, Voices Carry for number or Deborah being on air, but she did outstanding interviews and everything, so impressive and such an honor, Deborah, to have you on. And on again today. You're a lifesaver. You know that?
Well, I'm so glad to be a lifesaver, and that's what we all are for our pets, so why not? We can save each other and we can save our pets because it is really I never judge anyone who has to drop their dog off at a shelter. I'd hate to have them leave it tied up in a house or to just let it go, or to not be able to care for it and leave it locked up in a room and not get any interaction. We're not walking in anyone's shoes, so I don't like to judge anyone who has an issue and has to drop off their pet. I'm glad that they're giving their pet an opportunity to find someone like you, Deb, who, takes and rehomes animals. So I'm always leery to say terribly negative things about people who have to drop their dogs off at a shelter, because at least they left it in a safe place. It might not be ideal. We all know that none of our dogs would think that was ideal. However, it is really an important step to keeping them safe.
That's so very important. And also, Deborah, you're on Podbean, right? The podcast, you still on there?
I am. I'm on Podbean. I'm on Apple. I'm on iTunes. I'm not on whatever the other one is that you pay for. I'm not on that one, but you can get me on any of the platforms. Apple iTunes. You can get Why Do Pets Matter. We have about 100 podcasts up. I've been doing it, I think, since maybe right before COVID, so like 2019, and we really have some outstanding speakers from all over, because the podcast is supposed to be able to bring people together who think differently. Because of my mediation background, right, Deb? I want to make sure that I enable people who think differently from me to have a platform to talk about their point of view. And this way, it's non-confrontational. It's not, we're all not siloed in the same bucket. And people can hear them in a way that might be not as defensive and reactive to them as they would be if they're having a conversation, because you listen to the whole podcast and you go, well, there were 2 or 3 things that I agreed with Deb on. I don't agree with her on 4 or 5 things, but there are 2 or 3 things I agree with her on. And so that starts the communication. As I said, when you create legislation, if you are creating legislation without the proper underpinnings to support the legislation so that it can be enforced in a way that people go, oh, this makes sense, it's really difficult to enforce. We've got a lot of legislation that people are supposed to enforce that, it depends on how loaded the dockets are, how important the police or judges feel the case is. I mean, I'm a huge proponent of restorative justice to be dealt out to people who have harmed an animal, so that they need to really have a face-to-face with the people who might have experienced that dog's pain and suffering while they were recuperating it, so that they can actually understand the impact their actions had on the people who cared for the animal. I don't know that defense attorneys would like that. I'm sure they wouldn't. However, really, to make an impact on someone who's harmed a dog, having them go through a restorative justice process rather than just paying a $500 fine or going to jail for a week or 2 or a month or 2 is much more impactful when they see what their actions have done to people who've observed the pet post-abuse.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. And you're also on X, which is formerly Twitter. And can you tell the audience?
Oh, no, I got off of X once the election. No, I've gotten off X once the elections. I'm only on, Blue Sky now? I'm on Blue Sky, whydopetsmatter.com. And okay. I'm on Instagram, Why Do Pets Matter. Not on X, and I'm on Facebook as Hamilton Law&Mediation. So you can get me on those, and LinkedIn, of course. But no, I'm no longer on X. I bit the bullet and said goodbye, and I got on Blue Sky, which I find to be a much more uplifting, joyful, and positive place to be.
It's called Blue Sky?
Yes, it's a new platform that is really gaining in subscribers, and it's more of what Twitter was before it became what it is now as X. So it really is some place where people are very positive and uplifting, as opposed to, sharing information that may or may not be accurate.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've noticed even on Facebook, with the election and everything, people were getting so nasty and wicked towards each other, and it's totally uncalled for. You can argue with strangers all you want to, but your voice, is your vote, and you have every right to vote for who you want to. We have Democrats and Republicans on both sides of Republican and Democrat parties. So I've heard people, they was getting so nasty. It was sickening. It was disgustful. I kept hearing, Facebook is the toilet bowl of social media. And I was telling them, I said, I'm not putting nothing political on my page. What we have to look forward to is working together to get a better, USA, because we got a lot of issues on that side, and we have to work together no matter. I've heard, no, I'm not contacting my representative. He's not the party I'm for. No, we have to work together and just drop that, I said, I'm not going to sit there and waste my time on who I want to vote for it's political discrimination. It's the same as if you're black and you don't like whites, or whites don't like blacks, or it's the same as a lot of cyberbullying was going on, and I said, I'm not getting involved. I'm here for the animals, and I stand up for elder abuse and the children, whatever I can help with. Deborah, it's sickening what's going on out there. It's terrible. People
it really
need to grow up and face what's going on in 2025, whether you're a Trump supporter or a Harris supporter. Trump won. Now we got to go and all work together and give him our ideas, and because he passed the PACT Act back, I think it was in 2019, for the animals. So I can't really say anything, negative. That was a positive, because I had a show on the PACT Act, okay, not with Trump, but I had a girl, 16 years old, and I can't remember her name. She got a petition started, got with the representatives, okay, and I remember all this happened. I got a hold of her father, asked her if she can have her daughter come on there for 10 minutes or 15, and it got support. I mean, over 800,000 signatures. Ain't that something? And I thanked her. Hey, a 16-year-old girl.
Oh.
So I said, we got it. No matter who your senator or representative is, if they're Democrat, Republican, we got to stand up for what's right here in America first, okay? Not in the other countries, here, because we got too many issues going on, and they need to be fixed. Inflation's out of control. People's dropping their pets off at the shelters because they can't afford the vet bills no more, or the surgeries. And I even mentioned that to my vet, because, it was, last year was like my sugar bear was having problems, with her breathing and stuff. And I took her in there and everything. This was tests that ran over $725, okay? And he told me to give her Benadryl. And I'm like, what? All this for $725? So I can see where they're coming from, and the shelters, the cats, the dogs are getting put down because of overcrowding. It is a disaster. And I'm reading it through the internet, and it's like something, the food, the gas, every angle's got to get taken care of, because it's out of control. It's out of control. We got over 40,000 veterans living on the streets. This is a disgrace to the human race. They let the illegals in here, and I'm not prejudiced, but you're putting them in hotels, feeding them cards and all this? No, our Americans first. Children, animals, elderly, veterans living on the streets, a no-no. That is a disgrace to the human race. And know who's coming across the borders, because as it looks like, and I hope to God it doesn't happen, but another 9/11 looks like it's coming up the sidelines. So we got to work together and do what's right. They should be protecting us, not letting everybody through, because I don't let everybody through in my house, and I know nobody else does either. So we have to work together, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, independent, whatever it is, because they're on both sides of the house. And if we don't do nothing and the problems worsen, then guess what? Who's at fault? We the people. Again, and it's terrible.
Yeah, standing in the way of progress and not having the ability to speak to each other and find a way forward. The way I think and the way you think, we might be at odds, but there may be, as Bill Urey says, the author of Getting to Yes, there's always the third way. And no one gets to the third way because they're so focused and determined to be right over getting it right that they can't move forward, and so nothing gets done.
There you go. You said it right there. Work together. No matter, united we stand, not united we fall. Everyone out there, I don't want to hear that, he's a Democrat and I don't support Democrats, my representative. Or he's a Republican, all this name call and cyberbullying and political discrimination has got to go. We are better than that, okay? We're adults. We're grown adults. So let's work together, everyone. It means so much. And Deb, we're down to like 3.5 minutes left on this show. But I can't thank you enough for coming in, that was awesome. And I'll get hold of Spencer and get with him to reschedule and keep you informed. How's that?
I love that. I'm going to hop off now and let you sign off. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And as always, Deb, you're doing great work.
Oh, thank you so much. And right back at you, Deborah. Keep it up. And looking
forward
to having
you. Take care. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
And you too. Be safe, okay?
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay, Carolyn?
Yep,
I'm
here.
Shutting down here in a minute. But anyway, I did get the word on Spencer Hodges, everyone. I got to go back and change the promos. But anyway, Debra Hamilton, Why Do Pets Matter, filled in this evening. We can't thank her enough. And I'll be getting with Spencer on ReboundDog.com, founder and host. He's from the UK. We'll reschedule him. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in this evening, okay? And keep it up. I love your support and keep me going because I will find another podcast. I got plenty of time. But Carolyn, my Facebook friend, thank you so much for tuning in today. I know I think it's after 7 o'clock at night. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So we gotta all stand together. I hate to see all this hatred towards each other because they're Democrat or Republican or Independent or whatever. Cyberbullying at its best. Name calling, ripping each other. I mean, it's like what? Oh, I'm gonna unfriend you because you're a Trump supporter. I'm gonna friend you because you're a Harris supporter. Isn't that childish or what?
It is. It is.
It's sickening.
Very, very childish.
You have the right to vote for who you want to vote. You don't have to get anybody's approval,
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, I want to thank you for you calling in. You're a big supporter. And I got 90 seconds, and everyone I want to bring up on Wednesday, and I hope you can tune in, Carolyn, at 7 o'clock Eastern, Cheryl Becker, for director at Western Mass Rights Advocate. She got real good news to tell us about Massachusetts, a circus bill banning elephants and wild animals out of circuses. Isn't that great news? We got some positivity going on. And Glendon Waterman will be stepping into Massachusetts for elephants. But I hope you join in. It will be 7 o'clock Wednesday. Thursday, it's going to be closed on Animal Advocates Radio. So I hope you all tune in and come and join us, and love your support and all of the help all of you get me to promote these shows. Appreciate it so much. But everyone have a great evening. And thank you, Facebook friend, for all your help.
Thanks for taking my phone calls.
Will join us next Wednesday. But okay, Paul in hand. United we stand against all animal cruelty and neglect across the land. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for tuning in.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.